if you can find space for yourself in some way to take time, spend it with those you care about, make memories, I think that's what is important.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Doing good. We're in Sweden.
We are in Sweden.
We're in a podcasting booth in our hotel
Yes.
in Stockholm.
Yes, that we accidentally found.
Yeah. So we're recording.
Yeah, I said, let's do it. You said, all right.
Yeah. There is music thumping outside, so we'll see if I can get that removed when we get home.
I bet you can. You're pretty magical when it comes to that.
Yeah. So what's on your mind?
Gosh, I just feel like we have had a whirlwind of a trip. So we started out the trip being somewhere new almost every single night, which was a lot,
Yeah.
but we've covered a lot of ground at the same time.
Yeah, we fit a lot in. The nice thing, or the thing that made it a little easier than I anticipated, was every hotel was quiet at night. And that's not usually how hotels are in the States.
No,
In the
they're
States,
fairly noisy.
it's pretty darn noisy. So I was impressed with the Swedish hotel industrial complex. But yeah, it was a lot of, I think you're used to me getting a little unsettled every time we have to transition.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little easier because after the first couple moves, I was like, okay, it's been quiet and I think it'll probably be quiet so I can sleep when I finally get tired enough to sleep. You know, I mean, let's not forget the time difference. Like the total time it took to get here was like 12 hours, but like on the clock, it only took like 3.5.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yes.
we saw a lot. We went north, we went south, we went further south, we went back north, we went further north.
Then we came right back to Stockholm.
And now we're in Stockholm. We have one more sleep here, and then gonna maybe look around the city a little bit more tomorrow, and then head towards the airport to try to get some sleep before a very early flight.
Yes.
Very early for me.
It is very early. I think we had to be at the airport around 3 or 4 in the morning.
That'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. But it'll be good. I mean, it's one of those things, going on a trip. I almost said vacation. But going on a trip, it's very nice to go and enjoy and explore and immerse yourself in somewhere that's different than what you're used to. And at the same time, it's also very nice to go home.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm ready to go home, but I've really enjoyed myself exploring a new place. It's been a while.
It has.
So it's nice to adventure. And what I've learned over the years traveling with you is that it's going to be easier than I think. And if I stop trying to anticipate everything, I can enjoy myself a little more.
Right.
It's still tricky, but from the years that we've been doing it, I know that you'll put in the effort that will allow us to get, see, or do what we're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll always find a way. And so I can let go of that part of me that anticipates or is wondering, like, well, what about this? And what about this? And it's like, it'll be fine. Well, if like we found a pharmacy when we needed some eye drops for child 1.
Yes.
You know,
the allergies were just as bad here as they are in the United States. Pollen is the same.
Yeah.
Maybe not the exact same, but it impacts him the same way.
Yeah, it's similar.
Itchy.
Yeah. I can't wait to be home, but also like not in a I didn't enjoy myself way.
Yeah. That's good. I'm excited to go home too, but I also think I could spend another 3 weeks to 2 months here.
Yeah.
there was one point I said, wouldn't it be so nice to just live here? I think that was a little too much for you.
It's a little too much commitment.
little too much commitment. But I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, wouldn't this be nice? We actually found where my great grandpa Victor grew up. So I'm like, wouldn't it be great to just come back to where my ancestors came from?
You can get a little villa here. I don't know what they would call it in Swedish.
Cottage?
Yeah.
Little house?
Yeah. All right. So, do you want to like knock out like what have been some of your favorite things?
Yeah, let's do that. That would be wonderful.
My guess is if we talk about that, something else will pop up.
Yeah. And can I, so I'll say this. I think knocking out some of the favorite things is great. And at the same time, I want to not just list off a bunch of places that you can visit or a bunch of places that are on like a bucket list, but something truly unique and special that made that moment just pop for us. Does that sound like an okay thing?
Yeah.
Because I think we could list off a bunch of things. In fact, I kept a journal this entire trip. And this is my 4th time to Sweden, which I didn't realize I was here 4 times, but this was my 4th trip to Sweden. And I found my journal from when I was, I think it was 10 and 13, and it would have been 21. I have to say it was fun reading those before coming because you notice so many different things and you don't just notice I didn't always write, we did this, we did that. It was always that plus my lens and my take and what made it special or impactful. And so I'm hoping we can recreate that.
So real quick, one of the memories that you read out of your journal was you got to see a play.
I did. Yeah.
And when was that? How old were you when that was?
I think I was 10.
It read like, we saw a play about sacrifice and I think I got it. Something like that is what you wrote, right?
Yeah, I did.
And I'm like, oh yeah, a theme. You saw a play with a theme of like, sacrifice and, making decisions. And then you were talking to your dad and he's like, oh no, it was about like ritual sacrifice. Like
it was actual sacrifice.
Yeah. So that changed the tone of that journal entry for me.
Yeah, that surprised me a lot too, because I thought it was the sacrifice, like you're giving something up for the good of the world, But then when my dad did say, no, it was about actual sacrifice, I thought, oh, well, I got it right then.
Yep.
Misinterpreted it when I reread it, however many years later. But yes, that's funny. You remembered that. So one of my favorite memories about this trip, so we traveled here over midsummers and we were able to go to some small midsummer celebrations and having coffee and just kind of traditional sweets and being able to walk around and watch the maypole raising with a cup of coffee in my hand. I just felt very Swedish and very at home at the same time.
Yeah, they were nice. Like we went to, some smaller town celebrations and it was fun to see how everybody was celebrating and the young kids and they're dressed up in their traditional clothes and real little kids like just learning to walk and like I love how much they love coffee here and I'm like, oh, this is definitely where we're from.
I do have to say their coffee is really good.
It's so good. I never enjoy coffee other places. It's always like got a weird taste to me, but here it's so good. It's how I would make it at home.
Yeah, nice and strong. It's kind of like how we make our coffee, like you said at home. And your mom will say it makes her teeth chatter.
Yeah, she has to water it down.
She definitely does. But it's how I make my coffee.
Yeah, those were fun, little glimpses into the traditions that I didn't know a whole lot about. Like I know I've heard about it, but to see and we couldn't understand everything that they were saying, but we got like the translators out on our phones and we're trying to follow along and you knew some of the songs even.
I did.
So it was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. Like that's on my list of things that I enjoyed a lot. Yeah. Could kind of slow down and walk a little bit and like stretch our legs and we're out in nature and hopefully the boys will appreciate it when they look back in a few years. But this is also That's maybe one of my favorite things of the trip, just to the dovetail with this one, is they're at that age where they're not necessarily going to express that everything's fun, and it's probably not for them, and they're not giving us too bad of a hard time, but I can tell that they're like, why are we doing this? And it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, they're teenagers. Like even if they're not enjoying it right now or can't quite appreciate it, it's giving them experience, seeing how other people do things and being able to appreciate it and enjoy it.
I do have to say, though, as much as we think that they might be like, oh, mom and dad, it's interesting the questions that they ask.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh, can we do that? Or, oh, I really like this here better. Or child 2, one of my favorite things has been he's been taking pictures around every single day. We go and he'll send them to a group of us on a group chat. And it's the lore, LORE, for the day.
Yep.
So he does his lore videos paired with one of his favorite musical songs.
Yeah.
And so you see all these different pictures that he edits.
It's like a slideshow, like on fast forward, though. They're only about 2 seconds long for each photo. And he's taking interesting angle shots and or just like people's like side face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's really interesting. It looks like something that could be in like the Modern Museum of Art here. Or any city. I think also what I was trying to speak to is not that they're not appreciating and enjoying the things that we're seeing,
right? But
I think it's more of us checking in and seeing how they're doing, and they're probably like, just leave us alone.
We are both. What is the saying? A mother hen is what people would call me. Where I'm making sure. Do you need a granola bar? Are you hungry? Do you need the bathroom?
We're a little bit of helicopter parents.
Oh goodness. We are.
But they're so...
It means we love
They're
them,
so grown.
that we care.
I think this trip, we've let them have like a little... We've lessened the tether that they've probably been yearning for us to like let some line out.
Yes.
And let them just walk ahead of us and stuff. So
yeah,
it's nice to see them kind of go off. And if one of them goes with one group or the other, and then when they kind of reunite, to see their camaraderie come back too, that's been a lot of fun.
That has been a lot of fun. So another thing that's been exciting for me, or one of my highlights, has been sharing this not just with the kids, but also with my parents.
Yeah.
Having 3 generations on a trip is something that is really special.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been showing us the different areas of where our family came from in Sweden. And so that's been nice to hear some of those pieces and those stories. So it got me a little bit more interested, not just in the family history, because I think I've always been interested in family history, but it just brought more of it to life to be able to see some of the places in real life. And although I know I've seen them before when I was, 10 or 13, being able to see them and really be present. Does that make sense? Not present, but understand the stories or have heard the stories more.
Well, you've grown.
I've grown.
And you're the way you perceive the world has changed,
yeah.
As it does for us. And so I don't know if it maybe a different appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's what's actually so beautiful about the fact that you have journals from when you visited before, because you can see those different lenses that you've had and the different experiences. I didn't journal so much on this trip, but
I did enough for both of us.
Yeah, you did. I've been taking pictures and
yeah.
I've been really trying to be in the moment and capture them with, like I said, pictures, but I'll take some time to reflect a little more after, but I'm just trying to kind of be riding the wave right now, which is enjoyable.
What else has stood out to you as a really special moment?
Honestly, one of the most surprising things is that almost everywhere we've gone, we found mini golf.
True.
like the first place we stopped, we landed, we slept, and then the next day we're like, okay, we're gonna go to
Sigtuna.
And we walk out of like the little parking lot we found by the park. I was like, "It's a mini golf course," and child one kind of looked at me, and I said, "Do you want to do it?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." So we played maybe 12 or 13.
I think it was 12 holes.
Yeah, it wasn't 18. Everywhere else was 18 actually, which was pretty fun. Full round of golf.
Yeah.
The way I know how to play. But yeah, and it had like for the obstacles were landmarks around the town. And so that was kind of cool. It's like I got like a interactive fun introduction to this town that we were spending the day in. And then I think the next day when we went somewhere, there was another one that we tracked down and we did that. And so it's just a lot of fun and you know, something I didn't expect to find. Not that I didn't expect them to have mini golf here, but I didn't expect to be able to give any time to that. And when we found the campground,
Yeah.
we all played, like the entire family, all six of us. So
That was actually funny because I was looking up mini golf courses and I didn't know if anything would be open because it was Midsummer's Day. The one that the Google Maps suggested was part of a campground. When we went in, they're like, "Oh, just go. It can be free," because
we're like, we're not staying here.
we just saw that it was a really good one on
this is how we decided
online.
to Google our trip and spend our time.
Yeah.
Tracking down mini golf courses across this beautiful country.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just go. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah, it was a nice way to break up the driving. The first half was a lot of driving, get out and stretch, and the second or third time, my back was starting to get sore.
Yeah.
Right. This is not
dealt with a little bit of back pain this trip.
This is one of the unfavorite moments. Is that about 3 days in? I was going to say 4, but I think it was earlier than that.
It was earlier. It might have been.
There's something with my lower back. So I know I tweaked it before we even came, but I thought it was better. But then the plane ride and probably loading, unloading some bags and sleeping in hotels. And anyway, been powering through. That's a generous term, I guess. I've been having really slow mornings, but it's been loosening up throughout the afternoons, and then the evenings I'm like, I feel great, you know, or feel pretty good, and then it's like just in time for bed, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be sore again and have to go all through it, but it's been getting better and better. Anyway, little side quest there.
Your back pain was no joke.
No joke.
No joke. That was not good.
Working through it. Thanks for being patient.
Yeah, well, you can't help it. I mean, especially when there's lots of walking that needs to happen, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. You're getting through it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, another one of my favorite moments was going to Stockholm Fields to the Green Day and Weezer concert with the 4 of us. So child 1 and 2 and you and me.
Yeah.
That was fun. Child 2,
outdoor festival.
Child 2 is not a huge fan of either of those bands, but he was hilarious during the show. The people in front of him kept yelling, "Mosh pit!" and then like starting to jump and bounce around and bounce off each other. I haven't been in a mosh pit area for a long time. I was kind of sitting there, you know, with my mom jeans and shoes on and a poncho and all these younger kids or cooler adults.
Was that during Green Day?
That was during Green Day. Yeah.
So by that point, we stood through Weezer, right? We were there.
Yep.
And I said, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to stay up where we are for Green Day. It's going to get crazier. It's the headliner, so everyone's going to be excited. And so I was back about 20 or 30 yards and plenty of room. I could still see you guys. And yeah, you showed me a picture of I think was it a live or was it a video?
It was a live photo.
And he's looking forward. These people start jumping around and he just looks over and he gives you that little kind of side glance of like,
just like this little smile, just great. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So yeah, no, he was a trooper. And I didn't expect them to stay up there the whole time.
I didn't either. My favorite, though, every time they'd yell mosh pit and just start going, he'd turn around entirely and look at us and just do a half grin, just like, what is this?
Yeah.
It was just really, really funny.
Yeah. No, it was a good concert. Weezer was good. And I like Green Day. I don't like them as much as you or Child One, but I appreciate what they do. And they put on an amazing show. Sounded great. Great interactions, great performance, just blew me away. And I haven't seen them in quite a while. So it was cool to see. They probably sounded just as good as any time in their history.
I agree. I may have shared this on a previous episode, but the Green Day concert Child One and I went to last summer was one of the best concerts I've been to. Yeah. And I thought, oh gosh, maybe I'm overselling that.
Right.
But after last night, I don't think so. I just think they're really good performers.
Yeah. Yeah, they've definitely honed their craft over the years. So yeah, enjoyed myself. It was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Yeah. Live music is always pretty good, but I don't know if I need to go to too many more festivals like that. It's like can definitely tell I'm on the older end of the spectrum.
Where you look at a ticket and you go, will there be seating?
Yeah, and there technically we paid for an area that had seating, but it was all taken up because it was only spots that were covered and it was raining. It was an experience. Like I'm not complaining, but
yeah,
with my back, I wasn't sure I'd be able to stand the whole time, but we did, and we walked back to about almost 3 miles.
I think it was 3 miles.
Almost, yeah, or around there.
It's a good bit.
Yeah, which I think actually helped my back. I haven't been shying away from walking, but it's been cumbersome at best for the first half of every day. But not to bring that back up, but I think the power of rock and roll helped my back, is what I'm trying to say.
That's good. Anything else? Do you have any other highlights?
All right. So aside from like the time with family, like I'm just going to throw that out there real quick. Like, yeah, that's the whole point of this trip, is to spend time together, and especially like you and your parents connecting to your roots. And it was a lot of fun seeing that. But we got to meet a friend that I met through Purple Space. We got to meet Rick, who lives in Stockholm.
Super nice.
Amazing guy. I already knew he was super nice. Somebody that I kind of connected with pretty early on. He's just always very generous with his time, and just the way that he sees things and that he can communicate the ideas that he sees that I maybe aren't clear to me has just always blown me away. And so then to get to meet him in person and spend some time with him, have fika. Mm-hmm. He generously got us some coffee and some pastries, some cinnamon buns. It was really nice of him. So that's one of the things I like to do when I travel is either see people or experience a connection like that. So that was extra special for me to get to meet somebody that I knew but had never met in person. I think we both had a good time with him, and I wish it could have been longer, and it was really nice. So thanks, Rick, for making that time for us. If you hear this, yeah, it was really generous of him to make time in the middle of his week.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else?
There's so many things, but if everything's your favorite, right? I mean, the only other thing I would say, I've enjoyed the beauty of Sweden. Everything from driving down to Karlskrona and seeing the Baltic.
Yeah. Oh, I got to touch the Baltic Sea.
Yeah.
Like that's something that you see on a map when you're a kid, mm-hmm. like, and doing like the section on European history, which is used around like the world wars and stuff. And you see this Baltic Sea, and then I'm like, oh, we got to touch the sea.
Yeah. And it was just beautiful. To driving by the dense forests, to driving on small little roads through the countryside and all the red. You were not a fan of driving on the small country roads.
I was not a fan of being a passenger while you were driving on those roads.
Well, I kind of grew up driving on them, so
So did I.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
But just the countryside, the beautiful red homes everywhere, just how everyone keeps up their properties here, the flowers, the lupins in the ditches. I've been trying to grow lupins for years in my garden, and I just can't. And the ditches were full of them, purple and pink and white and lavender. It was just gorgeous.
And it feels kind of like home when with all the trees and the rocks.
Yeah.
It feels like we're driving through our home.
It does.
Quite a bit. They have the birch trees and they have the pine trees and stuff. And so that was pretty interesting. Like every now and then you'd be like, oh wait, I'm across an ocean and it feels familiar. And then you go over like a hill and you see this giant lake.
Oh,
and these just rolling hills, and it was epic. The landscape and the scenery. I really enjoyed that.
Me too. And I'm a couple times child one would say we're trying to take a picture, and he'd say, "Be present, be in the moment."
Yeah, he was definitely kind of calling us on some stuff every now and then.
Yeah, which is fair, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you need to be in the moment, guys.
I'm in the moment, but I also don't want to forget it.
Exactly. But it's so pretty right now.
Mm-hmm. So we've had an amazing trip.
We have.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Everyone's been really kind and patient, and I was a little nervous that I might be annoying, not being able to speak as well as I wanted to, but it's kind of a steep learning curve on trying to speak Swedish. And like Rick said, he's like, don't worry, almost everybody speaks English and they're going to be excited to get to practice speaking English. And he was saying that almost to apologize when I had a Zoom call with him before we came. I said, oh, that's fine. I would love to help people with their English if they want. Like I won't be put out at all. Like, don't worry. I'm trying to figure out some of these key phrases so I know how to say thank you and please, which is talk or taksamika, right?
Taksamika. Yeah. Varsågod.
Urshkata. Excuse me.
Yeah. Urshakta.
Urshakta. Sorry. See, everybody, they appreciate that I'm trying. And then I say, I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Yes. It's interesting because I have a hard time speaking. Like you were saying, the pronunciation just doesn't come.
It's not natural.
As natural for me.
Even though we say like hey and yeah.
Yeah. Some of the, I just said yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the things do land and sits better. But I had somebody once tell me, when you're learning a foreign language, know that if it is not your first language or you're not young when you're learning it, it's really hard to speak it without some type of accent.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't, but
right.
that it's more difficult to speak it without an accent. And so to just get over it and try.
Yep.
I did try, but the one thing I did, we've both been doing Duolingo.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on my Swedish for it's like 330 days.
Really?
Somewhere around there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm closer to like 30 days.
Yeah. So I've been working at it for a while. And although
that's why you're so good at it.
Well, even though I hesitate to speak unless I have to try, I'm able to read it on like menus, store signs, and things like that.
It's been helpful. Yeah. And I've even some things are standing out to me, which I was like, oh, cool. Like I kind of know what that means.
Like I get that.
Yeah. But also like the pulling up the phone and having it translate, that's a pretty epic tool to have.
I've been doing that a lot with menus to try and see what will the kids possibly find at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember where it was we went, and they had salmon or burgers. And so child one was like, yeah, no. So he tried salmon and he doesn't like salmon, but he found that out.
He had about a third of it.
Yeah. So we're talking about the things that have stood out as special or that we liked. Does it even make sense to talk about the things that were like tricky? Do we just let
Not
that kind
really.
of go?
If anything has been tricky, I mean, aside from my back, I've been trying to let it kind of like just let it flow past me, and I don't even think there's been that much like the typical things. Like if you're away from home for a while, I get a little, maybe a little restless or a little tired of being out of my element.
Mm-hmm.
But I can recognize that and acknowledge it. I don't think it's been that bad on this trip. I've not been ignoring it,
Yeah.
and just trying to find the time to, I don't know, use some tools, I guess, for lack of a better word, of like, okay, what do I need? Well, actually, all I really need right now is to sit in our room and have some water and just have a little break.
Yeah.
Because we've been moving, and there hasn't been a time where it's like, oh no, you can't sit down. We have to go. It hasn't been like that. Aside from like being at the festival and dealing with kind of young, rowdy people, like you get that everywhere, by the way.
You sound so old.
No, I know, but I'm middle aged.
You're like, well.
Embrace it. Here's one thing that is tricky. I was like combing my hair a little bit, or like just like pushing it back. Was it last night? And all of a sudden I see in the mirror, I go, what is this? And I come over to you and I said, is that a stripe of silver like right in the front of my head?
Sure is.
And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, when did that happen? And what did you say?
Probably on this trip.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, true. Like, it hasn't been that stressful, I don't think. I mean, a little bit here and there, but nothing, I don't think anything too excessive.
No.
And nothing worth maybe focusing on or holding on to, or hopefully, yeah, unless you have something that you want to. I'm not trying to brush everything aside that I want to make sure that you have a chance to say something if you want.
No, the only thing I was thinking about was near the beginning of the trip. We were in a different hotel room every night, driving about 3 to 4 hours every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. It got a little tiring. I think we all said that.
Kind of being on the road. I mean, because you have to stop.
Yep.
And you have to eat. And so we're driving 4 hours, but it's taking 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're in a hotel room, but then you have to pack up in the morning and load it all back in and go and do it again. Right?
Yeah.
And so just kind of like a little like road weary a little bit.
Yep.
But kind of like we mentioned earlier, like the things we got to see helped overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I would plan it the same way to have that
in the future.
Yeah. Wouldn't try to fit as much in. Maybe find like probably stay in the city here or somewhere close. Have like a home base.
Yeah.
And the thing too is like that was coming off of the travel to get over here.
Mm-hmm. So you're jet lagged and tired.
Yeah. It's taken me a while to adjust, and I have a weird schedule. Like I'm not waking up as early as you.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not going to bed as early as you. And you're not going to bed early, but I'm really not going to bed early.
You are not.
I've only been getting about 6 hours of sleep, but not feeling too bad.
Right.
But I don't know what else to expect with the travel and the 7-hour time change.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, kind of expected it. I actually expected it to be a little more rough, the transition. I think the first 2 nights were tricky because there was sunlight, like it looked like dusk at like midnight.
Yep. And sunrise was at 3.
3, and some of the shades didn't get shut all the way or weren't as dark as they were in some of the other hotels. And I know child 1 was like, it was light at 3 in the morning. And I'm like, close your eyes and turn away from the window.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm like, I get it. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he didn't know there was another set of shades that were darker.
Yeah.
So they just had like the thin ones. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, you probably got no sleep.
Yeah.
Is this the first trip where they've been in their own room?
Yeah. Well, for this many days, yes.
Okay. When we travel at home, it's been Airbnbs.
So they're in the same house, but
they're in the same house,
room.
But different rooms or different levels. So I don't remember staying in hotels where they've been in different rooms.
Mm-mm.
I mean, one of them, they were on a different floor even.
Yeah, that was one of the first
I
nights.
remember you were like, I'm like, they're fine. Like they're not adventurous enough to like sneak out of the hotel and do anything. Like
No.
they're probably just like, just let me sleep.
Yeah.
Little things like that I'll remember, by the way. It's like, oh, that was the trip where you guys got to like have your own space together. Like they traveled together, like as brothers. That's kind of cool, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Going back to, the first couple days, there was like a moment where I could tell that you were tired. I was tired. I wanted to do all the things. You're like, we're doing a lot of all the things. You and I, we stayed up fairly late just talking. Didn't we get to the point where we were talking about, okay, let's stop thinking about what does Keith like about being home and what does Laura like about traveling. We started talking about what is it that Keith likes about traveling and what does Laura like about being home, which was kind of a flipping how we typically think.
Yeah.
And that I feel like, not that anything was bad, but it just kind of shifted how we both experienced it together a little bit.
Yeah.
That was pretty early.
Well, and like, I don't think you even understand what you were doing there because you're the one that asked that, or like, hey, how about we think this way? Like that's like one of your superpowers is like helping shift perspective. And I benefit from that because I can get in a funk.
Well, everyone can.
Well, and you and I both know that we're both stubborn in our own ways.
What?
But we're
I'm not stubborn.
Of course not.
Not at all. You haven't seen any of that in the last couple of days.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That was a good conversation because I mean, jump in if you remember some of the things, but like the things that we said were sometimes the same thing. and I'm like, oh, that it almost made me like laugh. I'm like, okay, like one good thing about traveling is I get to try new things. Might not feel easy all the time, but I do like exploring. I do like trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would say, well, one thing about being home is it's comfortable, or I like know what to expect.
Or I would say one thing I like about staying home is that we can cook new food together and try new dishes.
And that's one thing I like about traveling is I can try different food, or going somewhere and being a little nervous to try something new, but realizing that if I try it here, it's probably going to be done really well.
Yeah.
Little things like that. It helped. It was empathy. It was allowing us to have empathy for the other person's maybe preference, or like where we return to zero of like, you would travel a lot more if I didn't maybe hold you back.
You don't hold me back. Yes, I do like to travel and would travel more if I had unlimited means and lots of vacation days.
Right.
And after all, I was going to be a travel agent.
Right.
I wanted to be.
Yeah.
This is more fun though.
Well, you're a travel agent for your family.
Yeah. I love finding unique, fun experiences. Okay. Every trip that I take, there's always something that you kind of look at and you go, that was different and quirky and cool. Was there anything that you saw that you're like, oh, didn't expect to see that, but okay.
More than I thought. I enjoyed going to the Dollar Horse workshop.
Yeah.
So I got to see the factory floor, for lack of a better term, so there's a bandsaw there. There was pallets of pine, and the smell, like once we walked in the door, I'm like, oh, that's pine. And then they're standing there on pallet jacks. And then they had a CNC arm that was cutting them out from a block of pine, like there was a table saw blade, probably at least a 15 or 20 inch blade, pretty big blade. And then that, and it had a bandsaw going too. It would go in between them to do different things. So that was fun to see. And I didn't know that was part of I just thought we were going to shop. And by
really?
we, you and your mom.
Well, and apparently child one.
So it was kind of cool to see that. And it's nice to see the Dollar Horses, and I appreciate, the artistry of it and stuff.
Yeah. Craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Craftswomanship.
Yeah. Just got to go sit outside a little bit and get some food from the food truck and visit with your dad a little bit. And then he kind of went off, I think, with your mom for a little bit or something. And then I found myself alone. And then I was chatting to a couple guys that were, I think one of them was originally from Finland, but he's in Sweden now, and had a nice conversation with a couple guys and just sitting out waiting for our wives to finish shopping.
Great.
I think that's a common shared experience with many people across the globe.
Yes.
What about you? Sorry. Like, that was nice. That was nice to just chat with some people and just be.
Just be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I was really excited to see the world's largest dollar horse.
Yeah.
I can't remember how tall it was, but it was very tall.
It was in meters. So
Yeah,
I'm sure, I know we have a picture of it.
Oh, we have,
I have a picture of the sign, and we were taking selfies, and it was by a Burger King.
Yeah.
So it felt like we were going down the interstate back home and like stopping at like a dinosaur sculpture or something,
like
but it was
South
a dollar horse, you know?
Yeah. So that was one of my, I don't know if it's quirky, but it was one of those like, oh, that was fun and unexpected, even though I knew it was there. I didn't expect how big it was going to be.
I did not expect it to be that big. It was a few stories tall.
Yes.
If that reference helps people. It was, right? Like, it was at least a few stories tall.
Oh, yeah. It's a big one for sure. Any other closing thoughts or final thoughts on our trip that you want to remember?
I love the coffee. I'm delighted at how good the coffee has been. Just gonna mention that again real quick. And then also, like, this is pretty cool to have this booth in their hotel.
Yeah. Shout out to the downtown camper.
Yeah, it'll help us maybe be on schedule a little more.
Keep going.
Because I was struggling to get a couple episodes done to cover. I mean, one's coming out tonight that I got done right hours before we had to like leave the house. It felt like.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna have any energy
to record. Let alone edit.
Oh no. So we'll see how this goes. This interesting setup, and who knows what we'll have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went pretty fast. Now that we're on our second to last night.
10th day?
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, we did a lot, but there's so much we didn't get to do.
Yeah. Some things on the typical tourist map, and then other things that were a little bit more quaint and local.
Yeah, and like, and again, getting to meet my friend Rick in person and with you.
Yeah.
Even just getting to go sit and have coffee with him and a couple cinnamon buns and have fika. And he brought us to a great place.
Yes,
and it was
he did.
I'm like, oh, this is, like he said, I'll bring you to a place that's less touristy, you know? And I'm like, great. I'm like, this is
it's
excellent.
Exactly up our alley.
Yeah, it was nice.
What we like.
Enjoyed myself on the trip. How about you?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed myself. I keep going back to being able to share this with the kids, with my parents, with you, has truly been special. Being able to have more than just 5 days and getting to see such a wide range of things has really been more than I think I even expected. So I've had a really good trip. I don't want it to end. If I had unlimited vacation and unlimited funds, you'd be staying another 3 weeks in Sweden with me.
Oh, geez.
Maybe taking a little trip over to Copenhagen or
I would love that.
Possibly to Norway. But
I would love to go to the land of Lego.
Yes, I bet you would. You actually said I might drive down to Copenhagen here.
Yep. I'm like, give me my passport. I'm on the rental. I don't know what'll happen at the border, but it's worth giving it a shot. No. And then when I looked at how far away it was, I'm like, oh no.
You're like, I don't think so.
I don't think I can handle that.
Yes.
But that's been on my list of places I've wanted to go since I was in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Found out that's where Lego is from, you know, when I was a little older. And I'm like, oh, of course I would want to go there. I'm like, it's meant to be.
Exactly.
All right. Any recommendations or anything? Or is us just going on and on about how amazing Sweden is enough?
My recommendation is travel if you can, spend it with those you care about. And if you can't, simply make time and space to be with those you care about and make those memories.
Let's leave it on that.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.